holidays extended, all that kind of stuff. But appreciate you being here. We'll keep it as brief as possible today. Thank you, Sharon, about the co-host. I will do that now. We are
Holidays
now
extended.
live. All right, welcome. Um, bear with me one more moment, just a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, good. All right, well, here we are, team. Hey, thank you. Hopefully, you had a fabulous Thanksgiving. I set my phone down for the day. So if any of you sent me Thanksgiving messages, I appreciate it. And I will reply to them later today. So I'm very thankful for all of you and thankful for our business, thankful for our country, thankful for where we are. And I know we all are, but it's so easy for us, isn't it? Isn't it easy for us to forget how fortunate we are to be living at this time and to have the benefits and the luxuries of life today. Even the way we're living now, even if you were in our the most broke 10% of our country is living better than the royalty lived in the 1800s. So we're in a very, 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 very blessed way of life right now. And there's always stress and there's always anxieties and there's always pressures, right? And it's all a matter of perspective. So let's all try to run it through the filter of gratitude. It's amazing the brain can't process gratitude and anxiety at the same time. It can't. The mental function can't do both. So if ever we're not thankful, gratitude is a great, or if ever we're having a moment of anxiety or a tense time, start focusing on things to be grateful about. It's biblical, it says it in the Bible as well. And psychologists have come along and recently, science has recently documented it to be the case as well. So, hey, sometimes Thanksgiving isn't filled with gratitude, right? Sometimes it's filled with stress. So I just, pray for everybody that we have an opportunity to take a step back, take a time out, and just think of some things to be grateful for. And whatever those things are, a friend of mine, Tom Chenault, put a great post up yesterday. He had a lot of stuff go wrong in his life in the last year, a lot of painful situations. But he took a moment to leave a post about what he's grateful for. And because he practices that. And it was a great example of someone who's had through a lot of curveballs thrown at him, health and loss of loved ones and injuries and accidents and all kinds of stuff. Yet he found it in himself to focus on what to be grateful for because it's all you can do. If you focus on all the other stuff, then what happens? It expands. What you focus on does expand. If you focus on gratitude, it expands and it starts to snuff out the darkness of this rough stuff of life. Okay. So I'm not diminishing financial difficulties. I'm not diminishing relationship difficulties, health difficulties, all that, not diminishing any of it. Those are all real, right? But gratitude's real as well, and eternity's real, and none of us escape this place alive. So while we're here, let's be grateful, and after we're here, let's have eternity. By accepting Christ as our Savior. That's what I believe, and there certainly is a lot of confidence in not fearing death, right? So knowing that this is just our earth suit, and we're spirits with bodies. We're not bodies with a spirit. We're spirits that have bodies. And that's what I believe. So let's talk about the process of living on purpose while we're here, right? And DAC is a purpose-driven cause. It is a purpose-driven cause for you as an entrepreneur, and it's a purpose-driven cause for our clients, right? And I got some updates for you today. But as we're thankful and as we're thinking gratitude, let's be grateful for the purpose we have. Let's see how we can expand that purpose more. How do we vibrate that purpose out? How do we ripple that purpose out? How do we expand that purpose out to be more than just in here, more than just a good idea, more than just a heart space? How do we connect from the heart through the mouth, heart through the texting, heart through the emails, heart through we got to lead with it here. Start here. McGuire was on a call today and he was talking about his passion, how as soon as he switched from the cerebral facts and details of our funding into the passion of the funding, it's gotten easy. Fear is gone. But when it was all fact based and it wasn't passion based, and it wasn't belief based, and it wasn't service based. It was still, you could do it, you could talk yourself into it. Elon Musk, they say he's on the spectrum, right? And he doesn't really have empathy, doesn't have empathy, but his brother says he learned empathy because he can learn and he can scientifically say empathy is this, and I need to have this for others. But he doesn't feel it. It's a program that he says, I must have empathy, and this is why. Okay, that makes sense. Just like physics, he understands physics at a level that not many other people do, but he doesn't understand empathy like you and I may. And so he's got to learn it. Well, guess what? Passion about our product is something that you can learn. You can have the programmed empathy or programmed passion, but man, once it hits your heart, once it really connects here, and it's hard to do that when you've never been a business owner. It's hard to do that when you've never been that business owner whose business is growing and you can't get money to fuel it. It's hard. It's hard when you've got employees you can't offer healthcare to because the prices went from $400 a month to $1,800 a month. And as much as you may want healthcare for all and all that, you're the employer who's now got 30 employees who now, instead of 400 a month, it's 1,800 a month. And you just don't have the money to do it without losing your company, without shutting down. So you got to cancel healthcare, and you don't want to, but you don't have a choice. Everyone gets a $1,500 monthly raise. That's $20,000 a year. And you don't have that to give all your employees extra money. You may only be making 40 grand, 50 grand in profit total. How do you spend 10 grand more on every employee when you don't have that much money in profit? So, maybe if you're General Motors, you can do it. I mean, look at their records. They're losing money too, but maybe someone, a Fortune 100 company, can worry about healthcare and cover it and all that. But small businesses can't. So until you've been that business owner, it's hard to have that passion for that business owner who runs that restaurant, has 5 employees, and can't offer healthcare to any of them. Or that Subway restaurant who's got 13 part-time kids because you can't hire any people to work more than 30 hours, because once you work more than 30 hours, you got to have access to healthcare, and I can't do that. So I got to have a bunch of part-timers. And that, until you've been that business owner, it's hard to have that passion, right? So program it in first. Try to, we tell stories all the time of what it's like to be a business owner, hoping that it'll help flip some switches. Each time we talk about it, we're hoping it flips another switch or two, that the person you're eating at their restaurant, they're dealing with real challenges every day. The person where you're getting that coffee made, it's not Starbucks. Well, guess what? If it's not Starbucks and it's a coffee shop, on average, they're making $18,000 a year profit. If they're making 18,000, they're paying their staff who are making the coffees more than they make. That's the average coffee shop. The average donut shop, same thing, about 30,000 a year. The average Subway restaurant, about $34,000 a year to the owner. These people aren't rich. They're not rich. None of them are rich. And so if we can get the passion to help them, to flip that switch to go, hey, maybe you just want to offer this health share to your employees. Maybe you want to offer the dual pricing to your clients so that you as a business owner can earn more. As you get that passion, you get more motivated to talk to people about it because they're struggling, they're hurting, and you are the first line of defense. You're the front line of capitalism. You are the, just like when we were going through COVID, all the front line of healthcare, they were on the front line, and we were so thankful. Who's on the front line of business funding? The bank manager in your town? No, 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 no. Their friends and family. That's it. They can't get it from the bank, so they got their friends and family. And you are the front line of funding. You are the front line of clear share of healthcare. You're the front line of dual pricing. You are. So try to trigger that switch. Okay, what I want to talk about, a couple things. We're having still the same numbers that we had last week, which over 70% of the people that are completing a full application aren't qualified to be applying. Talking about the Bank Breezy. I'm not talking about Giggle or Biddy. That's automated. Those are people under 15,000 a month, right? Or they have a personal bank account. Those are, we won't call them hobby businesses, but those are not small businesses. Those are called solopreneurs, basically gigs, right? But if someone's doing more than $15,000 a month and they've got a business bank account, then they go to our Bank Breezy funding. For those people, Over 70% of the packages we're getting right now are not eligible for funding. They're going through the application process and answering questions to keep them at Bank Breezy. But then when we get their checking account statements, it doesn't say that. So one of the things we're adding to our um, process. Tell me, do you guys see that screen? Oh, not that
Yes.
one. Do you see that where it says this will be verified?
Yes.
In the last 90 days, what was your lowest monthly revenue? We're adding this. This will be verified using your checking account statements. Okay, do you see that? Why? Because you know how much time we spend looking at statements where they're not doing 15,000 a month and they say they are. So we're just, it's one of the little things we're going to add. But beyond that, we wanted to go to all of you and say, hey, make sure you're pre-qualifying. Most of you who are on here, you know this, but most of your team doesn't. So make sure you're also putting part of your educational process to pre-qualify the client, like we talked about last week. If we're and by the way, 100%, listen to this, 100% last week of the clients who are eligible for funding got funded, already funded. 100% of those who passed our initial underwriting and we sent off got approved and got funded. Is that awesome? So that's the best we've ever done. We've never had 100%. Now, the number was low because we had so many, over 70% weren't eligible for funding by our initial view. So that's why we put this thing here. We want these people to know we're going to verify what you're saying, and that's not going to answer it. So you want to do that. You want to make sure you're pre-qualifying. So one of the things we said is make sure you understand everything that's on the quick reference sheet. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you pre-qualify your clients to make sure. Also, another thing we're finding is the reason people are pausing in the application is they don't have their statements and they don't know they can scroll to the bottom. It says save and continue later. Now, based on the technology, we can't put that save and continue later anywhere in the middle of the screen. It's got to be at the bottom. If they're on their mobile phone, they don't see that. Even if they're on their desktop, they may be zoomed in like me because my eyes, right? So we got that save and continues on the bottom of the screen. So we're going to put a little pop-up on when they start to say if at any time you got to hit save and continue. But until that's live, tell your clients, hey, while you're filling out the application, if at any point you need to pause, scroll to the bottom and hit save and continue. That way you can start up where you left off. You'll enter your email address and we'll send it because we're getting overwhelming. The people we call say, I didn't have my statements or I didn't know I could save and continue. So we talked about it at length today with our technology partners. What can we do? And there's really no way to move that save and continue button up on screen because it depends on what type of screen you're on. And we'd have to have it multiple places and it's not the right fit. So what we are doing is we're going to put a little starting pop up. We don't want to scare people away. Anything like that causes a fall off, right? So we want to make sure that we're being sensitive to user experience while also educating so that they know they can save and continue. So that means you on the front line, make sure you tell your team when you're filling out the application, if at any point you need to stop to get your documents or whatever, save and continue and then proceed later. Then we can obviously will auto email them and move them along. Also, another thing I wanted to make sure reiterate to everyone in the funding is when you sign up a customer, they're as much as we're only doing with 15,000 or more. Okay. We're only doing a soft FICO score. We're just pulling a FICO score. Unfortunately, Experian sells those. If you have a baby tomorrow and you fill out a Social Security form as the parent, you're going to start getting Gerber ads and whatever the diaper companies are and strollers, and everyone's going to start emailing you. And you're like, what's this all about? Well, because they're all buying those leads. And if you apply for a car loan, you're going to start getting everything that goes from auto insurance. You're going to start getting hit over and over by auto insurance companies because they're buying those leads. So guess what? When one of your clients applies for business funding, and has a soft FICO score. Experian doesn't sit on that. Experian sells that information. Experian, not us, not our providers. We don't share any of that information with anybody. However, Experian has something called trigger leads, where people are some of our competitors will actually buy those leads and call and flat out lie, the flat out lie. So you want to prepare your customers for that. This is an example. Hey, we just got your application. And yes, we can get you funding for sure. We just need some bank statements. Give me a call. Well, they already uploaded their bank statements with us, right? But they don't know that it's not us, so they call. And then they're told some story. And now you have a competitor reaching out to your client. Or they get the trigger lead will call and they'll text them. How do they text them? Because Experian sells that information. Blame Experian, right? Unfortunately, there's companies out there who happily pay for those trigger leads, and it's triggered when someone has a new application. So they're calling right away. They're calling them right away, hitting them up. You'll have some people say to you, hey, I applied and all of a sudden I'm getting all these calls. Why'd you guys sell my information? We didn't. If you get married, you're going to get telemarketed to. If you have any life change event, have a child, you have a divorce, you're going to get marketed to. You apply for a car, you're going to get marketed to. It's unfortunately the world we live in. Data sells. So prepare your customer for that up front. Let them know that if you get any calls, ignore them. Ignore them unless it's coming from Bank Breezy, DAC. That's it. Those are the only calls. And in fact, you won't get called at all if you fill out the form, and there's a number right on the screen. You can call them if you want to talk to them. So, and I'm here to help you. Call me. So prepare them for the trigger lead reach out, the scam reach out. Okay. David, I can get you that. Let me see if I got any today. It's amazing. I now report them all as junk. So hang on, I'm scrolling through. Oh, I didn't get any today yet. Interesting. But here's yesterday. David, as discussed, I can pre-qualify your business for $400K with a 24-month repayment. Reply with your email now on how much you can use. That's what someone sent me yesterday on Thanksgiving, right? Because I might be looking at my phone. And those are the type things I get all the time. So can you send me your email so I can forward you the offer that I'm able to get you? That's all they said. That sounds like it's coming from us, right? And I haven't applied for funding. This is because I'm on some lead list somewhere. And I replied, you give your company a bad name, you are not reading my responses. Because look, this is a response from a text chain that I responded to. And I keep saying, I said, how did you get my contact information? My marketing company identified you as someone to search a capital. What company is that? My name is Daniel. I'm with Money Tree. We are family owned and located in Long Island, New York. We have been in the industry for 50. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Can you send me your email so I can forward you what I need to get you an offer before month end? I am a business funder. I lend money as well. I don't need money. You got a bad lead. Can you send me your email so I can forward you what I need to get you an offer? Did you read my reply? Can you send me your email? I can get you the right terms. What is the ideal figure you could use? You give your company a bad name. You are not reading my responses. If I can get you the right terms, what ideal figure would you need? This is what our customers are dealing with, guys. Right there. Money tree, money scam, totally not reading my responses, money tree, right? There they are. Scam, 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 scam. And today, Tuesday, can you send me your email so I can forward you? I mean, are you kidding me? But if you don't know it, you assume that's a real person. So we want to be ahead. We're the pros, guys. Be the local pro. Be the local pro in your town. Be the local pro. Represent business funding to all your local team. All right. Now, that's what I want to talk about. Buddy system. All right. I was talking to our corporate team today. The best success I've ever had is when I teamed up with someone and we went out together and we just literally 2 years of contacting businesses for businesses I've owned. When you've got a buddy and you're doing it together, you're empowered. You are just empowered. You may not have a buddy. Your buddy might live afar. So recruit a buddy. Recruit a buddy. Recruit someone who's interested in helping businesses and go together with them. Recruit a teammate and do it with them. You do it with your enroller, you earn nothing on their success. They're earning on yours, and it's great. They're helping you. That's great. But be the enroller to recruit someone and buddy system together. Go to the chamber meetings together. Hi, we're Dave and Bill. We're with Business Funding. We just wanted to come in and educate you on our funding in case you ever have an opportunity. Banks are great. We love Marcy down at Chase Bank. We love Steve over here on Valley. We love Lisa over there. They're great. And if they can help, you should use them. But we want you to know about our alternative funding because unfortunately, they can't fund most businesses. And we love to help all those businesses. So Steve and I, or whatever I said his name was, we just want to introduce ourselves to you, let you know we're here. We'd love to get you some information in case you ever have an opportunity. What is it that you do? Now, you can beat up what I just said. You can say, oh, that could have been said better. You're right. You're right. It always can be said better. It's never said perfectly. The point is my passion to help that business owner. Me and my buddy were emboldened. I used to market discounts, buy one, get one free. We competed with the entertainment book when I was in my young 20s. And a buddy of mine, I did it on my own in my college town for a little while. I got 13 clients, and everyone I walked into, I was scared. Everyone I walked into, I was a little intimidated. You know, I'm a young college kid in Ann Arbor, and I'm talking to the owner of McDonald's, and I'm talking to the owner of Subway, and I was a little intimidated, but I was going to do it because I believed in my card, my savings card. And then my buddy Greg, I said, hey, you want to come help me market this in Ann Arbor? And so we're selling it, and we decided, let's move it beyond the college town. Let's go to our county. Let's go compete with Entertainment Book. Instead of just having a college discount card, let's go do it was called the student discount. Let's take it to the whole county. Let's take on Entertainment Books. And we went out and we talked about, I didn't care if you were the best restaurant in town, the most expensive 5-star restaurant, you were not going to intimidate the two of us together because we were together. Me going in alone, maybe a little bit intimidated. Us together. And I was telling the corporate team today, think about this for a minute. Jesus taught go 2 by 2. He was teaching the disciples go 2 by 2. They were the disciples. They were the people that actually saw the miracles of Jesus. They were the ones who met Jesus face to face. And whether you believe he's true or not, forget that for this reason. You know who he is. There's not a lot of people alive today who will know who they are 500 years from now, right? They'll be forgotten. Right. But that person, Jesus, is still known and still has people following him all over the world and being inspired by him all over the world. And obviously, I think it's because of the Holy Spirit and because he is the Son of God. But even if you don't, hey, give him some props for his methodology. Go 2 by 2. Go to a town. Find those who receive you, means they believe what you say. Stay with them and help expand. And if they don't receive you, leave their place and shake the sand from your sandals as you leave. Shake the sand from your sandals as you leave. Yeah, you don't need blisters in your toes. You don't need to be walking around with sandy shoes when you get out of there. It's shake all that negativity when you leave there. Is there any better advice? Now, obviously, I know shake the sand from your sandals was a sign. It was something in the Jewish culture about a sign of not receiving their negativity or whatever. I don't know. All I know is he said, go 2 by 2. Go to a place to see if you're received. If received, stay there and share what you believe and grow. If not received, leave. Shake the sand from your sandals. Go to the next place. Come on now. He didn't say go one at a time because, man, you're equipped and you're confident and you're capable. So go one at a time. He said go 2 by 2. So it's okay if you're going one at a time. But some of your people in your team need you with them. Some of the people in your team will do this if you're with them. So buddy up, buddy up. You've heard me say this. Some of you hear it. It's like James said, it's like some people see themselves in a mirror, walk away and forget what they look like, right? So sometimes you're going to hear counsel and ignore it. That's not being coachable. That's being judgmental. You want to be coachable. Healthcare right now. Let's pivot to healthcare. Healthcare right now is open enrollment. As I was telling the corporate team today, there is not a product that I would rather represent than HealthShare for people with no pre-existing conditions making more than 75 grand a year. Why? because that product is a heck of a lot cheaper than insurance and it's eligible for Clearwater. And it pays, and I've used it for over a year. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't put you on Blue Cross. I wouldn't put you on United Healthcare. I wouldn't put you on, you name the company. I wouldn't put you on any of them because they'll charge you 1,700 for your family or 1,500 or whatever. It's all relative, right? And they're not going to give you any better coverage. Now, if you have pre-existing conditions and you need to be approved by someone, then yeah, you're better off with the Clearwater Major Medical through one of our licensed agents or Blue Cross or one of those others. Or if your income is at such a point where you're eligible for government subsidy, then yeah, you're better with the Affordable Care Act than ClearShare. If you get a lot of credit. If you're only getting a little credit, you may not be because you're going to have a huge deductible and not real good coverage in our ClearShare. Maybe you'll pay a little bit more, but you'll have great coverage. So the only way to know for sure is to get a quote. And are you asking your friends and family at Thanksgiving yesterday? Did you mention anyone? What are you doing for healthcare? Our recruiting was yesterday was the best day of the week. Why? Because people are with friends and family, and so they're seeing people. My brother-in-law mentioned it to me yesterday. I talked to him about it a couple months ago, and he brought it up yesterday. I was going to as well, but he brought it up to me because we're in the same room, right? And he says, "Yeah, I do want to look at your business, get rolling, or decide if I'm going to get rolling, and can we connect after Christmas?" Yeah, great. So we're going to connect after Christmas. So that's why recruiting was up yesterday because a lot of people. But did you initiate any healthcare discussions, or do you need a buddy system? Is there a reason you didn't share what you believe to people you care about? Are you okay with them paying $1,800 for Blue Cross when they could be paying $900 with us and have the same or better coverage? You okay with that? Are you okay with them having a deductible of $12,000 with the Affordable Care Act when maybe that deductible could be $2,000 with us for $50 more a month? And they'd rather pay $50 more a month to have a deductible they can handle instead of saying, I can't go to the doctor. So it's our job to believe and share what we believe. And when received, great. It's not our job to make them receive it. It's not our job we're not responsible for the outcome. Okay. So buddy up when you can, recruit a buddy if you don't have one. And of course, talk one-on-one right now as well. I'm looking at my list there. Okay, that's everything. And then the only other thing I'd say is licensed agents. We have our appointment page live. We've got a couple final things that needed to get understood on commissions, frankly, so that we can tell you what you're earning on each product. And we're waiting from our providers to get us the street levels on some things. And we had a couple other appointment links we're still waiting on. But we're hitting it. Obviously, it's a holiday time, so some of the people weren't open on Wednesday. Some of them obviously weren't open yesterday, and some of them aren't replying yet today. But we're hitting it. Our stuff's done. We're just waiting on a couple answers so we can pull that trigger. So it's not live yet, but it's coming soon, and I'm hoping we get it live today. But I can't assure you that because again, we're waiting on some others for some answers, and until we have those answers, it's sitting in a pit stop, ready to go live, but not live yet. Congrats, Ellen, on passing your license test earlier this week. And I would just say this, when it comes to license required services, again, you can't earn if you have people in your DAC team that are licensed and get appointed with the carriers, that just means contracted and authorized to market their services. And if you have anyone in your team in DAC that gets appointed, you won't earn overrides on them. You can't. License law does not allow it. I was just updating all the emails that go to enrollers. If you have someone get appointed, telling them that keep in mind, you're not going to earn on this unless you get licensed yourself. And so just know that you don't ever have to get licensed, but you can't earn overrides on your customers in your team that are acquired, that are license required services. You can't. Okay. And there's going to be some good money flowing in supplements and in health insurance. So it may behoove you, if you've got a big team, to get yourself licensed, and you can do so at examfx.com. It's a license training course, examfx.com, using support@davidallencapital.com. Support@davidallencapital.com is your coupon code, your supervisor code. Support@davidallencapital.com will get you over 80% off. We don't earn a dime on that. They offered to pay us a commission and give you guys a lower discount. We said we want it all going going to the customer. So we're not in the license business. We're in the customer business. So go ahead and take advantage of that if you want to get licensed. The street level commissions for all of our products, as soon as we have that finalized, we'll post a document to show you that. That just means you're starting personal commission on all the products. It varies based on products. There's and supplements versus life insurance versus health insurance versus this, that, and the other. So that's my updates for today. I'm going to go to any questions you may have and hoping you're encouraged. Hoping you're encouraged. A lot of neat things coming forward down the pike, trainings. Oh, one other thing. The incentive is ending in 2 days. 2 days. The incentive of making 60%. So any submissions that come in the next couple days, you're going to earn 60% on. If you already got one, you're amped up. More than likely, depends on how big it was. But if you got a funding in the last month based on the incentive, you're already amped up. So you're already at the 60% and better enroller bonuses as well. So congratulations to those of you who took advantage of the incentive. Those who didn't, you still have time. You still have time. It's only the 29th. We have today and tomorrow. Any new submissions? If you have anyone who's thinking about applying or anyone you haven't reached out to, now's the time. You're going to make 60% instead of 40% of the bonus revenue. That means you make 50% more. And again, if you have any people in your team that get a funding client, you're going to make 10% minimum match on their base commission if you're not already qualified yourself. So, hey, this is a time to be active. Healthcare funding, best time to be active on both of those. And all the products we have, it's a great time to be active. And of course, the income opportunity. A lot of people are stressing about finances right now because of Christmas. And hey, you know what? Let's put this to bed. Let's have this be the last holiday season. Someone's worried about covering gifts and presents because of their income is limited. No one in this country is on a fixed income, not one person. No one's on just a salary. There's not one person listening to this who's on salary only. Oh, at your job, you might be, but you're a DAC agent. You have a bonus plan. Every DAC employee, every DAC agent, every person watching this and live or recording has got a bonus plan. And you can expand that by recruiting a team and earn overrides. So you have personal commissions and team overrides. You're not limited to your salary. Don't limit your lifestyle to your salary. If you want a better lifestyle, increase your income with DAC. Let's go to your questions. Any questions from anybody? Let me see. I got a few in the chat box. Let me look at the chat questions first. Thank you, Lois. Thank you. Thank you. Harligan says, I get those phone calls from lenders all the time. Exactly. Once you get your name on a list somehow, they're selling those and they make all that garbage up. They'll say they get you offer they can't get you. They'll tell you terms they can't offer you just to get your application through the system. And then it's bait and switch, standard bait and switch. We don't do that. All right. I don't have any other questions. So guys, let's go have a great family weekend. If you've got family times planned, but you know, my heart, I almost broke. I almost teared up just now. I am feeling extra emotion today for the business owners. For the business and for all of you, but there's business owners out there who don't have a salary and they don't have health care and their business is their only source of providing for their family, and their business isn't getting it done right now. And they could use that 4% sales in their dual pricing, and they could use some strategy sessions. They could use some help with some ideas. They could use some help with ideas and talking to them about how they could drive their profits up and how you can help fund them. So be on the front line of capitalism to help the frontline capitalists called business owners. God bless you all. Appreciate you all. Have a great day. Oh, one more chat came in. Let me see. Thank you. I will have a blessed